Hey guys, unfortunately Vlad is still sick. He's already feeling much better and we wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully he's able to join us soon. In the meantime, a new video. So not too long ago, we made that video where we fitted 4 diffs to a Lada, when it did a wheelie with virtually no load on the engine and in first gear at idle. As for the reason we brought it out to this empty lot, well, right here we've got some metal beams, which we'll be using to build something of a swing, I guess. That we'll be mounting the car to, securing it by the rear axle, to get it to spin around its own axis. Will it have the power to even do a flip? Or will it not? Now we're gonna have to set this swing up in such a way that it stays firmly planted and is able to withstand the weight of the car. The way I see it, we'll be placing one beam on each side, welding on some bracing, setting a few beams upright, and maybe we're gonna be laying down some concrete slabs to keep the whole thing in place. They'll also act as counterbalance weights, given that the car's center of mass is going to be displaced outwards with the engine up front. The swing is going to be under the most stress when the car will be angled at 90 degrees, which is its normal position on the road. Another consideration is that the car is running a carbureted engine, and there's no way to tell how it's going to run upside down. That said, we have to sort the issue somehow. In the meantime, we get ready to do some welding and figure out how this Lada might need to be modified. What we might need to add on for this entire thing to work. Let's do this.
Fellas, I'd just like to say thank you for your support and for your kind words. I'm well now and everything's good. Now you yourselves take care, and make sure to take all of the necessary precautions given the situation we're in. Now the latest addition to our online shop are these lovely face masks that'll help keep you safe from all sorts of nasty infections. Now at the moment it's August and the rainy autumn season is right around the corner, meaning it's time to buy some warm clothing. We're offering you guys these fantastic hoodies from our shop, and as of recently we've also got these awesome vests for sale. On top of that we've got a bunch of other stuff, and we're always adding something new to the product line. For example, not too long ago we began to offer these nifty lighters and air fresheners, so go ahead and give our online shop a visit. Get yourself some G54 merch, and when using the code from the video description, you can buy some stuff at a good discount.
Now to get the car to run properly, we've worked out that the simplest route would be to install a propane system. And that's exactly what we did, install a first-generation system. So right here we have a propane tank, we've got a hose going to the carburetor, we just stick it right in there and the car is gonna run. So we'll be starting the car, setting the battery aside, leaving the terminals to just hang there. And the car should be able to run while doing a flip. Of course, we're gonna drain the oil before we start to keep the engine from suffocating. We're testing a new method. We've connected the gas straight to the fuel pump. I'm not gonna argue. This is a very strange setup, but it works for whatever reason. The propane system is hooked up, the car works, and now we continue building up the stand. Once we're done, we call in a loader and do the experiment. The initial testing has gone poorly. As soon as we finished making the stand, we heard something go pop and break off. Yeah, the prop shaft is missing. There's a gaping hole where it's supposed to be. Okay, the uni joint has fallen apart. This is going to require some modification. So the rear axle we secured very tightly, essentially removing the rear suspension. And to avoid these types of mishaps, we'll have to weld in some pipe. And carry on with the testing. Let's get on with it. Okay, this has gotten extremely dangerous. What's interesting is that the car is shedding weight, stuff is falling off. It fits nicely, we got the dimensions right. We did a really good job with the calculations. I think we might even have some room to spare. The car will begin its journey from this position and rotate clockwise. We can send it counterclockwise, of course. Oh great, now we can't open the doors. You got it hanging? Okay, then release it. Right, our plexiglass windshield is popped out. Now, in order for the car to rotate clockwise, we need to engage first or any of the higher gears. Though I think we'll be better off using first. That'll slow down its rotation and give us enough time to split. We've secured the prop shaft, the car is ready, the battery is in place. Though we'll need to run away while carrying the battery to keep the car from falling onto it and smashing it. And I think the car is gonna fall 100%. Best case scenario, we lose another uni. Objectively, the universal joint is the weak link in this entire equation. After that, you've got the diffs that are located closer to the wheels, the ones that are under the most stress. So yeah, those might break, any one of the differentials. Now hopefully the car does a flip and goes full circle, goes all the way around its own axis. But we'll see what actually happens. If I had to guess, I'd say we do have enough power to get there. Why don't you pause the video and let us know, is this gonna work? Or are we going to fail? And let us know what you think is going to break. I see parts falling off, and the Lada has stalled. Unfortunately, we couldn't even manage 90 degrees. The Volga uni joint failed. Those are pricey. Let's weld on a heavy-duty joiner from our pause bus. So we'll smash that in there, cut all of this off, and I think we should just weld it on instead of bolting it down. We don't necessarily need it to be aligned, but we do need there to be a uni joint. We can't weld it solid because the driveline and the body are integral. If we do weld it, the driveline is going to bind and not even be able to rotate. But we do seem to be getting somewhere. We should superimpose a protractor onto the video to read the angle. Man, I even believed for a split second that we'd actually get to 90 degrees. Right, let's fix the car and continue. All right, let's go. Something's wrong. The car isn't moving. The splines aren't all the way in. Damn it. We didn't seat it properly. Back to the drawing board. Now we engage reverse. Even if we did shave off some of the splines, they usually begin to slip in one direction. It's the same principle as with a bolt, when you can no longer remove it, but can still drive it in further. Now might be a good time to step back, since we've only got a counterweight on one side. Nah, looks like... You can turn it off. Oh man, something has broken again. I reckon the axle shafts in the Gazelle axle are wasted. We were rocking the car back and forth and heard noise coming from that general area, from inside the axle. It looks like the only thing we accomplished with this experiment was testing the durability of those components, which was only enough for the car to reach 80 degrees. All metal parts have their limitations. There is no way around that. In the case of our car, the first thing to let go was a Lada uni joint, then one from a Gazelle, from a Volga. Then we installed a heavy-duty joiner that held up just fine. But at that point the axle tapped out. I think the problem with the axle started when the car fell when the first uni joint let go, which had to have put a lot of impact stress on the internal components. Well, this experiment has been a 107% failure. The car was unable to do a 360, but at the very least the stand held up, didn't fall apart. Let us know in the comments how we can maybe improve it somehow. Maybe you've got some ideas as to how we can use it. As for this video, well, unfortunately this is where it ends. Big thanks for watching, share your ideas in the comments, and goodbye.